Now this show is showing. The movie reviews are growing. I don't know where the hell this is going on this movie review extravaganza! Oh, Ganza. Oh, people, come with me and you'll see a show that needs explanation. What the hell is going on? What's going on, everybody? I'm Prince of the Chocolate Hose Factory. How y'all doing?
Yeah, all you need is just a little pencil to draw a mustache on.
I know. Skiwi. Where my opens at? How y'all doing, everybody? Welcome to Willy Wonka and the movie review extravaganza. Martin, how you doing?
Doing well.
Oh, wait a minute.
You got nothing to say about me today?
No, I'm doing a little bit. I just got to bring my I got to get my help up in here, my assistant. Hold on. Oh, here he is. What do you need, boss? Well, sing him a song. Oompa loompa. Shut up. Wow. Oh.
Man, I didn't know they had hillbilly Oompa Loompas.
I was on sale. I was all that was left. The racks were empty. I was there. I was like, hey, how you doing? You want to make chocolate?
Yeah, you look like a cross between a lumberjack and Swamp Thing.
You smell like them too.
I just bet you say, get off my property. You goddamn revenuers.
Boy, man, my curl is juicy, man. I'm looking.
It is.
Man.
Your soul is glowing.
Yeah, boy.
I was laughing so hard when he came in. It looks so on point.
It looks moist as hell, man. Look at this. Look at this, man. And the thing is,
That's
it's not
ready for the world.
It is, man.
Jerry curl right there.
Just let your soul
Oh, Sheila.
make it oh so silky smooth.
Here we go.
You know, here's the thing, man. How come they can't make Jerry curls in real life dry? Because this is not wet at all. This is
It's not?
No, this is dry as hell.
Boy, it looks so spongy.
I know. You thought I really put Activate on this. Martin thought I actually got a curl today. Do you like it? No, man. This is dry as hell. I don't know why. Now that's what I should probably invent. I actually am a Willy Wonka, man. Introducing dry Jerry curls.
You go bankrupt.
You say, I'll be a billionaire. Willy Wonka and a Jerry curl factory. Let's go ahead and get into our review for Wonka. Not that Willy on there. Just straight up Wonka. And as you can see, that's a young Wonka right there. Of course, this is the story about the chocolate genius himself. Before he became a cynical child tormenting sociopath. Back in the day, he was a much different person. He was a fresh-faced young man. What's that?
He was Johnny Depp.
That's even worse. Back in the day, though, he was a fresh-faced, optimistic young man, full of dreams. He was so optimistic that he single-handedly took on the chocolate gangsters in the city. The city's most powerful chocolate gangsters.
The cartel.
The cartel is what they call them. We're not even joking, people. And, well, when you take on the mob, whether they're Italian or chocolate, it never really works out. But
it's like a Scorsese film. It's about chocolate.
Yeah. Combine Willy Wonka with Goodfellas, you got Wonka right here. How did it work out for my man? I mean, obviously he ended up getting his own factory. Did he have the cartel killed and murdered, or was his optimism just enough to win them over? And will he win over the crowd, especially the people that are such fans of the original 1971 Willy Wonka, featuring what people could say, the Willy Wonka. You can't top that right there. Well, what if you do a different Wonka? Let's see how this works out with Wonka, which we were going to have our review for you. But first, let's go ahead and watch this, and we'll be right back.
You're going to get more than a bonk on the head.
I
I love the manga, man. What is with me today?
You deserve that one.
Shit, shut your ass up. I gotta say, this Wonka's actually kind of stupid too.
Quite.
The only thing he knows is chocolate. That's right. I'm surprised he's still alive.
You should stand up to those bullies.
I just want to start out talking about Timothy Chalamet as a young Willy Wonka. I think that he brings a lot of energy, innocent charm, kindness, and comedy, which shocked me because I didn't think Timothy Chalamet could smile, much less laugh. You know, I thought Timothy Chalamet, until now, I thought he only took roles that had depressing characters, emotionally confused characters, characters can't figure out their sexuality, or characters that just cried all day.
I don't know. I've seen him in these roles where he plays a really skinny, supposed to be a badass.
What?
Yeah, Dune. Yeah, Dune. And but even before that, I think it was the King, where he's like the young guy who's the king who has the sword, and he's supposed to be the badass of the kingdom. Well, but you're like, compared to all these other people, all right, this is confusing me.
Well, I know, compared to Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka's a badass man. You know, to me, you know, I listen. People for a long time was saying that they wanted Jeremy Allen White to play Willy Wonka.
Yeah, the resemblance.
Yeah, look at it. I mean, for years people thought that. So there's a Snopes article out there.
I know,
that says, "Is he related to Gene Wilder?" Because everybody thought he was.
There's clickbait when you're online that goes, surprising kids of celebrities, and they put a picture of Gene Wilder and Jeremy Allen White up there, and you know better. You know that is not his kid.
No,
but it's just to make you go, "Oh, is it?" And you'll click through that whole thing, and it'll never show the two of them.
Yeah, so don't fall for it, people. In fact, people were actually putting rumors out there that he was cast as Willy Wonka. So, you know.
He showed up on set.
Yeah.
That's here for my fitting.
That's him being told to go home right now.
What do you mean? I don't have to roll.
Get out of here.
But the internet said, though.
Yeah, he's like, well, I already work with food. I mean,
it is uncanny, though. Like, it's crazy how much he looks like Gene Wilder.
It is, man. So a lot of people wanted him to play Willy Wonka. And actually, I'm going to say that I'm glad that they didn't, man, because I think that, you know, now I think everybody's going to have different opinions about this movie, which is fine. But, you know, I think that Timothy Chalamet went in and made this Willy Wonka his own. You know, he's not the businessman who became so cynical that he lost his mind and became a recluse who turned his factory into a horror chamber for kids out there.
Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? That they are slowing!
Stop this shit now, man. People just jump on. You know, this is before he became that guy right there. Chalamet's Wonka is he plays as somebody who's so full of optimism and hope that he's naive. You know, he hasn't seen the harshness of the world yet. It's a very whimsical version of Willy Wonka. Also, he plays Batman in some parts in this. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I'm not lying about that. But his whole thing is that he is so naive and so full of optimism that, you know, I got a kick out of watching him because the character just wants to make everybody happy, man, no matter how dark the situation is.
What are you doing?
I'm making chocolate, of course.
Did you always want to make chocolate?
No, I used to make bombs.
Yeah. I used to be a terrorist.
I want to be a magician.
This fool in here making meth.
We're like, wow, this whole chemistry set to make one piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know how you're going to make money, but all right.
He's about to give this girl a crack rock. Here, now smoke this shit.
First one's free.
Here, try one.
shit in
You soap?
She tried to be nice too.
They did make all the chocolate seem especially crunchy. You know, like every time somebody
I'm going to go to bed now.
spitting out rocks.
You know, but I don't know. How did y'all feel about
About
Timothy Chalamet or anything about the movie?
I felt the complete opposite of everything you just said. I thought he was. I'm sorry. I found his performance weak. I found that he didn't have the energy or the charisma to pull this off. I mean, I don't mean like he's not Gene Wilder. I just mean for this title role. And especially since this movie is so much a musical and it opens with him singing, the first thing I thought was, man, his voice is thin. Okay. And it's not like Gene Wilder was a great singer, but it wasn't a musical, so he did fine for what he had to do. But they have a lot of songs here that he has to carry. And I was just like, his voice is just not up to this. As a character, I'm just kind of not behind him. He's not giving me what I need to be on his side.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in between you guys. Like at first I was really like, because when he started singing, I was like, not really standing out with the notes that you're trying to hit. But he did kind of win me over. I did like that he was expressive, he was having fun, but his character overall, I would say, was kind of flat to me. Like it kind of plateaus at one point.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with both of you. I actually enjoyed him. If anything is making this movie for me, is him. I really and yeah, I thought he had a lot of energy. You know, that's what the character actually needed to do to carry the movie. And I don't know, I'm not a singer, so maybe he was flat. The songs never bothered me in here. Or maybe, maybe I'm just happy to see a Willy Wonka that is not insane or looks like a murderous pedophile or something right here. That's Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka right there, which that movie.
I don't care for that Wonka, but it was inspired. and this one I didn't feel that way about.
Yeah, inspired you to run.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, but it feels like, like the Wonka should have just a touch of edge to him.
Yeah,
because well, I mean, and not this with this Wonka. It's got a different message, but like with the original movie, it's all about the evils of greed. Hey, you all came here because you're greedy, and this is what you get.
Yeah, man. Wait a minute. Who's greedy? The
kids.
The kids and the parents.
They're talking about in the original.
The original,
The
yeah.
original. Okay. I'm sorry, man. I thought you were talking about people getting greedy for HelloFresh.
Don't pull a muscle there with that stretch.
Right?
See, he was ready to look at me like, shut the up. And then you started laughing.
Say shut up. Actually, damn, I'm up here cursing. I'm cursing you out. I'm supposed to be cursing when I'm doing this.
You want to stop and take two?
No, it's too late now. No, just buy it.
I'm hungry enough.
I'm like Willy Wonka, just buy it. No, I have to actually give a word out to our sponsor right now, man. Let me see here. Y'all heard me talk about HelloFresh over and over and over again. Thing is, though, I talk about it all the time because, HelloFresh serves so many different purposes depending on what season it is. See, here's the thing. A lot of people out there, man, it's busy enough for people out there.
I know.
Man, people out there Christmas shopping, they got to save the money for the people that you got to buy gifts for and
They
everything.
got family coming over.
Yeah.
I'm working in the chocolate factory.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
The time.
You know, I'm working your. You're behind off in that chocolate factory. Gotta watch out, curse. I'm working your butt off in that chocolate factory.
Oh, we said butt.
But the thing is that you ain't got to worry about cooking a meal or anything. Now that HelloFresh has your back right here. You can save all that time cooking and actually grocery shopping because HelloFresh has got you, man. First of all, they deliver all these ingredients to your door. Fresh to your door. And they have everything you need, all the instructions on how to prepare it, whether you're a seasoned chef or somebody who can't even pour a bowl of cereal. They got you, man. The other thing is that not only are they saving you time by delivering this to your door, not only are they saving you time by helping you cook all this stuff, but they're saving you a lot of money too. And time. Some of these meals cost about they actually take about 30 minutes or less to cook. And they have also 15-minute meals up there. They're not just dinner, because that's what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, oh, this is this for dinner. You know, what if I want some HelloFresh for lunch or even breakfast? Well, you know what? They have you. Let me find their menu right here. Show you all the variety that you have. First of all, they have so much variety, so many different recipes, some of them seasonal, but also they do have lunch. They do have breakfast. I'm gonna tell you something about breakfast in a little bit. And if you're hosting a holiday party this season, let them go ahead and bring in dessert and snacks for you too. Let me tell you that you ain't getting away from HelloFresh. They got you, man. The guy I'm living with, he likes it so much. I can't even put my food in the refrigerator because it's full of HelloFresh bags in there. Oh, I don't know if anything's in them. Just empty bags in the refrigerator.
Sometimes you get the bags.
Now, here's what I was going to tell you about breakfast. For those of you who love the first meal of the day, ooh, y'all going to love this right here, man. If you go to HelloFresh.com/doubletoastedfree and use the code doubletoastedfree, you'll get free breakfast for life. It's almost like you have the magic golden ticket right there. Instead of a life supply of chocolate, which is bad for your health, you get a life supply of breakfast right there. But one breakfast item per box while subscription is active, and that's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/doubletoastedfree. Let me tell you how to spell that. HelloFresh.com/DOUBLETOASTEDFREE, and you use that code doubletoastedfree, and you get that free breakfast for life right there, as long as you're active on the subscription. Oh, folks, I want to thank HelloFresh. Give me my breakfast, boy.
You got it, boss.
My free breakfast. I want to thank them for sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your support. Well, we're all split in one way or another over the character of Wonka, played by Timothée Chalamet right here. As for the movie, so is it as good as the 1971 film? Of course, that goes. Well, it depends on your taste. You're gonna have some people. You're gonna have some people who do. You know, it depends on what your age, your taste, what you like. You know, everybody's a different opinion. My opinion, hell no. I mean, what are you, stupid? I mean, come on.
It's pretty tough to compare the two, even though they're connected. It's like one is an all-time classic, the other one's trying, but it's not reaching those heights.
Listen, I probably wouldn't even compare the two. You know, this is, of course, the original 1971 Wonka right here. Honestly, they are so much different in certain ways that I wouldn't even try to compare the two. But the thing is that they already use some of the same songs from the original. So they're playing on that nostalgia. So you brought this comparison on yourself.
That's true. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said, you can't compare the two. It's like, well, you did it first.
Well, I would say, though, that most of it is trying to do its own thing. You know, I saw, you know, for me, it's going to sound crazy, but I saw it as a prequel in an alternate universe.
Yeah,
you know, so
I feel like that's how you got to look at it.
Yeah, it's not a prequel to the Wonka that we know. The studio made them use the same songs. You know, that's a move right there, because of course Warner Brothers, they want to actually cash in on old stuff that you recognize and have nostalgia for. But this is think about it as a prequel, an alternate universe where some of the same events played out. I mean, if you want to say a multiverse, sure, whatever. But this is a different Wonka right here. I mean, you know, if you just look at if you just look at his hair, you know, his hair is dark, almost black. You know, of course, the Willy Wonka, the classic Willy Wonka, played by Gene Wilder, his hair is blonde, you know, iconically blonde and curly.
Yeah, but maybe it went gray and he colored it.
Later on in life, as he became more insane. When I say that when it does part away from the Willy Wonka from 1971, I think it starts to become his own thing. Apart from that movie, but also maybe for me, you could say that this is a prequel that's set in the Paddington universe, because it doesn't look like the 1971 film. It looks more like Paddington 2, or resembles more like something like Paddington 2. You know, it's a mixture of a fairy tale land in the modern world. You know, this movie here looks more like a fairy tale land while having modern characters living it. You know, some people have a Brooklyn accent. Some things here look like it's from our world, or some things look like it's from, you know, a long time ago.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out where the movie took place. I was like, is this Italy or something like that?
Well, it's his own world. It's not really meant to be anywhere that's within the world that we know. It's, like I said, it's a fairy tale world.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem.
So I didn't. That's why I was able to not try to attach this too much to the original. I mean, and some people are going to do it anyway, and and depending on how much you do that, probably depends on how much you enjoy the film. But anybody want to pick it up from here?
I mean, last thing I wanted to mention, though, about his character of Wonka, I just thought that when it came time for the movie to end, his arc, I thought, was laughable. It's like, that you're just going to throw that. They set up something, and then they complete that arc, and it's like, all right, that's not much. I was just hoping that there would have been a little bit more of him leading into that Gene Wilder character, but it felt lacking for me. But the tone of the movie, I think, is where it really succeeds.
See, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I did make a note of this. I'm glad that he did not. They didn't have a point where they were like, and this is where he went dark, or this.
Yeah, me too.
Are they hinting at this is where they? Oh my God, they're leaning into like he sees some bad children on the street and he's like, oh, you wretched, little bastard, you. I'm glad that they didn't do something like that. I'm glad that they kind of kept it his own thing.
They stuck with their own premise. Because I found myself not comparing this to the original at all. Because they did enough to establish that it's its own thing and it's not really the same character, even though it's similar. What I like about this movie, a lot of it comes down to this production company that who did the Harry Potter movies and the director who did Paddington.
Yeah, what's his name? Paul King.
Yeah, and it has that same aesthetic, and that guy's really good about taking this kind of fairy tale world and really populating it, and such a great attention to detail and the production and all that. It's a lot to take in and feel like you are in an actual place. And while I didn't like Chalamet's singing at all, the songs I thought were good. I was like, yeah, man, with a different actor who can sing, this could have really have come together for this. And and the choice to make it more of a musical sets it apart from the original. Now beyond that, everything I just said, the plot was just kind of pablum. It was such this is the first thing we reach for and what we're doing. It's simplistic to a fault. And it's unlike Paddington, it's in this completely made up world where they write the rules as they go along, and whatever they need to have happen just happens. And it's just like, well, you're supposed to just go with it. It makes it hard for me to really attach myself to it. And part of what happens with the original, if I compared it all, was that, man, that darkness there were stakes. And you get invested in how's this going to come out in the end? Is Charlie even going to be alive? Or what's going to happen? And here it's just like, well, it'll work out or it won't, but it probably will. It didn't really seem to matter all that much, and that's what to me keeps it from being that classic that I go like, oh, I want to see that again. It sticks with me. Watching a Oompa Loompa put on Batman wings and fly, you're like, yeah, okay, I guess, sure, why not, whatever.
It kind of felt like a live-action Dr. Seuss movie or something like that.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it's not like I go into this with heavy expectations, but there're just certain things I feel like this is what you should be doing with just even the most basic of things. And I was happy to see Hugh Grant, even though he's not in it very much.
I like the musical numbers too. In this,
some were better than others.
Well, that's any kind of musical that you get. Some are going to be better than others. I'm going to tell you, like much like Paddington 2, this is the musical numbers are fun. I think they're meant more for laughs. 90% of musical numbers in here, which is not surprising because I just learned today, courtesy of Kevin King, that the director of this movie actually directed a show where they burst into song with silly musical numbers all the time. You might recognize the show that I'm talking about.
Do you love me? Are you playing your love games with me? I just want to know.
He's up here talking about Julie, talk about God. What is that? He dressed like this.
I know. Wait, is that you right there?
Yeah, but mom, and I was like, what you doing on screen right now? What the hell is wrong with that guy?
It looks weird.
Yeah, it don't look sensible like me.
Yeah.
Do 'cause I need your love a lot. Come on now, you love me.
None of them are as silly as this in the movie, but they do have a lot of humor in there, like you saw right there. That's the Mighty Boosh and that character. Some of y'all may remember the show. That's old Greg with the mangina.
Oh, Greg was too weird. I never really watched the show, but if I knew they were going to do something like that, I would have watched it.
Yeah, no, I used to love the Mighty Boosh, man. I think the movie had a great opening number. Because I think what they do with a lot of the songs is they tell the story as they move along. First opening number talks about how Willy Wonka's coming into town and how he's, losing all his money and how he's...
that's a very clever song.
Yeah, how he's starting out with nothing. He actually gets there with money saved up. He ends up with nothing in a matter of minutes. But it's really funny, man.
Made me think they're in London.
Yeah, there was some really funny running gags in here. I laughed a lot at what they. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but Michael Keegan. What's his name? Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, Keegan.
Yeah, he plays the chief of police in this, and they do this running gag with him that I thought was
it's
pretty funny, man.
Yeah,
it was
cheap,
clever.
and they could have run that into the ground, but they did a good job with it.
Yeah, because a lot of it depends on visuals. They don't say anything; they just let the visuals carry the joke. Speaking of the humor, I think the humor is pretty consistent in this, man. Like I said, there's a lot of visual gags that are weaved within the story. There
was even a couple of weird visual gags. Like I heard you sitting next to me, like where we both were like, "What?" Like there was some goofy editing. I was like, "Well, that's not a fart joke, but like kind of."
Actually, yeah, they did. So they do a fart joke in here that I actually laughed. I laughed at very hard, man, because they actually did something creative with it. And it's right. It's not really technically a fart joke.
Yeah,
but it is.
But it is.
but it is.
But you're right. It's not offensive.
Like I said, I like the way the jokes were weaved into the story, man, because some you don't even know where it's going. They'll have something that looks like it's a whole other movie pop up, and then you're like, okay, what is this about? And then when they reveal what it is, I think the laugh pays off even more. A lot of setups for small gags throughout, too. I think that when it does reference the original story, but it only does it when it has to, when it is telling the story. It doesn't, look, the movie don't stop to do Easter egg stops and drops, It don't do any of that. Everything is an element of storytelling in this. I think most of the characters are, okay, so here's where I would say that some people, I can see them easily getting bothered by this, and y'all are probably bothered by it too. Some of the characters in here are way over-exaggerated to the point that they are very, very silly, over-the-top silly. Olivia Colman, who's a great actress, she plays a crooked lodge owner. Depending on how you feel about this, she might get on your damn nerves, or she might be fine because she's doing a very stereotypical Cockneyed accent in this.
I liked her.
Yeah, I didn't mind her.
I liked her. I didn't mind her. I actually liked her a lot.
Yeah,
I liked the way that they shot her a lot. Like they emphasized her mouth and her teeth, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah, she's doing that Cockney accent that every bad actor does. They try to do a British accent. Oh, hey, why you doing all that? That kind of thing. But she didn't. But she, they do it on purpose.
Yeah. But she, her being the great actress that she is, I really felt that character. Like as much as it was over the top, it felt grounded.
Yo, I liked her a lot. I'm just saying some people might have a problem with this. The ones that are really cartoonish here are the chocolate cartel, who, I didn't mind it because I thought that they fit into the world that they were, the world they created here, which is a very over the top, silly, cartoonish world. But they lay on that British smarminess very thick, and it might be, I can see it being just a little too much for some people out there.
Let's try one of these so-called hover jumps.
Ooh, he's orgasmed on himself. He's like, God damn, man, ain't that good?
It's not just chocolate, is it? There's cherry.
Cherry picked by the pick of the cherry pickers from the Imperial Gardens in Japan.
Well, you've got to die now. This is so you see how they're reacting, man, and how they're even making cartoonish, cross-eyed expressions like my man here, who was in, I believe he was in speaking of Willy Wonka. Britain. Well, he was also in, there's a connection here with Johnny Depp, where Johnny Depp played Willy Wonka, and then wasn't he in, no, he was in Alice in Wonderland. He played Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was wondering where I recognized him from.
But I thought that the main villain, I thought he kind of carried it, especially the
yeah,
musical
yeah.
number. I thought that was the best one by far.
Yeah, no, this guy, he used to be on Peep Show. And I loved him.
Patterson Joseph, man, got that processed perm wig on and everything, because he's really bald in real life. I actually enjoyed him a lot, man. It's funny because the only dignified character in here is a Oompa Loompa.
He's the only one who's posh.
Yeah. He's the only one not playing it up too much at all. But that, Hugh Grant is always great, man, especially when he's playing it straight. He does play a Oompa Loompa who has a little backstory of his own. And and rounding off people that I like here are really, there's a little orphan girl in here. Her name is Noodle. Yeah, and they're about to spit that chocolate out. Her name is Calla Lane. I think Calla Lane is her name. She plays the character of Noodle. She's really good, man. She doesn't try to oversell it as being cute or anything. She's a little sassy actually, without being annoying, at least for me.
Yeah, she wasn't.
I would think my biggest complaint with the movie, it comes when the movie's already done. I did not like that stinger at the end. That stinger was lame.
Are stingers ever good anymore?
No, man, not
When's the last time you saw a good stinger?
None.
On anything?
Man, I ain't been stung good in a long time. You're right about that. I'm thinking about, even once Marvel started dropping the ball, everybody just said this. I don't give a boy.
Well, but everybody started making them after they did, and theirs was bad, and people just kept going with it. It's like, it hasn't caught up to them like, hey, we don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, everything you got to say, put it in the actual movie.
Yeah. They try to do a quick wrap of the movie, and then it ends on it. Man, it just stop with your head.
Exactly.
Stop. It ends on this really lame joke. It's terrible, man. And to me, it's awful. It's awful. And that's I know the movie's done, but I'm walking out with that.
Yeah, the movie ends and they're like, hold on, we got a whole factory to push into this.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And here's what happened. It's like, I don't care. It's over.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
Let me go home.
Can I go? Can I just go?
Everybody getting up trying to get out of here. I can't get out the theater.
No, wait. Let me show you what happened to this person, though. No, don't care.
Yeah, it's like the end pops up and they're like, no, pan the camera this way. It's still going.
Yeah. Also, I think the movie's a little too long. Just a little bit.
It overstates its welcome just a little bit.
Just a little bit, I thought. But listen, I think I'm the one that enjoyed this more than anybody here. So you see, there's going to be a lot of reactions to this movie.
Tell that from the way you're dressed.
I just dress like this all the time. What are you talking about? When you're not at home, I just walk around the house like I'm in my chocolate factory.
Yeah, I finally didn't have to get dressed for the show. This is me normal.
No, when you're not doing that, Pixie's dressed like a Oompa Loompa. So, yeah, man. I think a lot of people are going to like or dislike this for different reasons, as you've heard around here, but I also think some people will hold the original against this one and not enjoy it as much. Others will find a lot of nostalgia here and be grateful for it. So, when I saw it, man, look, I thought it was pretty well crafted and visually very creative, and it, and I don't know, it just made me feel good when I watched it. The darkness of that first movie is its own thing. I'm not looking for them to recreate that. And I don't think, and it depends on what you're looking for. I went in a different frame of mind with this, and some people be different when they think about this. From my own personal opinion, though, I thought this is a different Willy Wonka that's more innocent. They did have a lot of dark stuff going on within the city. I mean, damn, they got gangsters running the city just over chocolate.
Yeah, that explanation was really nicely done, I thought.
Yeah, they do a whole elaborate story behind him and how it's mixed up with other powerful organizations in the city. So, there's enough of that going on. I thought that with the character of Wonka being so whimsical and naive and just nice and just, and going in, but just kind of a, this optimistic ignorance of the world. I thought that it suited the tone of the film in a really good place, a well balanced place. So yeah, I'm giving this a low full price. I just I think if people allow themselves to feel good with this, they can. But I understand people who don't, because again, lot to process here being attached to something that already is better. Yeah.
True. Well, I can truly say that the things I don't like about this movie have nothing to do with me comparing it to the original. I mean, when it was first announced, I was like, oh, here we go again with one of these. But hey, it's Paul King. Love Paddington and love Paddington 2.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the different take. And I didn't mind that there was a different take. That it would be more innocent. I'm fine with that. I just didn't care for how one note the main character was. And I thought Timothée Chalamet was just miscast. It seemed it gave me the feeling he got this role without an audition. And yeah, I don't feel like he carried it well or gave it enough of what it needed, at least for me, to really enjoy it on a level that I thought it could be. I thought it missed a lot of its potential. It felt like something the studio wanted to make, and Paul King and the production people were like, hey, we love this character. Give us a shot. We got an idea, but it just wasn't enough to make it something unique or give it bottom. And it's something that when it opens with him coming on the ship, he's always alluding to these different things he did. And I was like, man, the more interesting movie was before he got to this city. And what happens after, like even though you go like, hey, we're seeing Wonka right here, I was like, this feels like the least interesting part of him. For me, this was a very high, but still a rental.
Right on. I think I'm still right in between you guys. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. The trailer, when I saw it, I was like, this looks rough. But I thought that about 80% of the jokes hit, and some of them were just like confidently weird. And as people know, I love when things go their way of just being weird.
Get out of here.
But I thought that they really embodied like this guy being a goofy chocolatier, and all the side characters had their moments. I would give it a very low matinee. If you want to go see something that'll make you laugh, especially you want to bring your family, this is the perfect thing for that.
Yeah, I guess the way I'm looking at it too, man. I think it's perfect to bring your family for the holiday, especially with the holidays coming. There's a lot of stuff out there that seems, this is from Warner Brothers, that puts out a lot of stuff where they really are just trying to cash in on, old properties or familiar properties, popular IPs and whatnot. Yeah. And I think there's something that the filmmakers here, they tried to make it more honestly, man. They didn't make this with the intention of really trying to do that.
Yeah, it's not a cash grab.
No.
And it's not fan service the movie, which it easily
could have been.
And that's another thing. Maybe I'm just kind of fond of this movie because they avoided that. And people, today people act like they can't help themselves when it comes to that. And I gotta drop them eggs.
I'm compelled, I can't.
Yeah, who would get into fan service?
Shit, these movies are throwing eggs at us
before you even sit down.
Hey, man. Double Toasted Live in Los Angeles is going to be Saturday, April 27th for a night of comedy games and that after party.